Hey guys, welcome to another Texas Bolt Action Battle Report. Got a very special battle for you today. My friend Greg is coming over. This is like his third time to play, and I'm going to let him command my newly painted commandos on their very first ever mission. Now, I know these are Normandy-based kind of Royal Marines, and I think they were used more as like men in the line during World War II, but I mean, they're commandos, so this first mission, I had to make it some kind of a raid. So we're going to be doing a modified version of the Daring Raid scenario found in the Duel in the Sun book. Instead of attacking an airstrip with airplanes, we're going to be attacking some well-camouflaged German tanks that are being hidden in the rear echelon, and the commandos are going to be coming from every direction to try and take these tanks out. The Germans are going to try and repel them. They're going to be lightly reinforced at first with rear echelon garrison type troops, but as the alarm bells start to raise, there will be a call for reinforcements, and we'll try to bring in some more crack troops to deal with them. So I'll start with the commandos. The first thing I have is my command squad. I've got Lord Lovett here leading the charge with his 5 men. We've got Bill Millen, the bagpiper over here, helping them out. They're going to be reinforced by 2 Bren sections with 2 Brens apiece, all veteran. NCO is going to have a submachine gun. They're going to be backed up by a 7-man squad of all submachine guns. And then over here, I've got 2 regular rifles sections. And I've got, of course, my free artillery observer. So he'll be bringing in coastal defense batteries from the beach. And then over here, for teams, I've got a medium machine gun team and a Piat team, and as well as a sniper. I think I've got their spotters kind of mixed up, but I'll fix that later. All right, moving over here to the German side of the table. So to start the battle, we're going to be using these garrison troops. Now, I had to use Schmeiser, the tank commander, since it's his tanks that are going to be under attack. So we've got a German first lieutenant here, regular. We've got 2 regular squads with LNGs. We've got 1 regular mortar team. Now there's going to be 2, this is a modified version. I'm going to allow 2 groups to be on patrol. So we're going to have 2 5-man sections of rifles that are going to be kind of patrolling the premises that won't have to start set up in the fort. And then coming on in the second turn as reserves, once the commandos start to kind of pick up and the alarm bells start to sound, we're going to be bringing in these Waffen-SS crack troops, and they're loaded up in their half-tracks, and they'll be supported by an armored car, a Puma. So it should prove to be a pretty exciting battle. The commando's objective is going to have to be to take out all 3 of these tanks that are hidden here in the orchard that are well camouflaged. They'll have to start set up in the fort, so we're going to call the fort these ruined buildings here, and then we have a town kind of over here to the left. So the commandos will have the option to come on any side of the table that they wish, and the Germans are going to be pretty short-staffed at first to try and stop them. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 1, and we'll let you know how it goes. So stay tuned. I'm really excited about this battle. Hey guys, welcome back. I actually said we were going to play turn 1, but I forgot about deployment. So the rules of this scenario state that the entire squad of the defenders team has to be set up in the fort. So that's going to be this building right here. Now I've modified this scenario a little bit because I want it to be a little bit more cinematic for you guys. So we're going to have reinforcements that aren't allowed to come on until turn 2. And we will also have 2 patrol units that are allowed to set up anywhere on the map. So if you look right here, you can see that I've got both regular squads inside the fort, as well as the mortar and the spotter. And then I've got the commander over here behind these sandbags. Now the 2 patrol units are going to be stationed here with the tanks, just a 5-man rifle squad, and here with in these runs. Greg has set up his sniper in this building, perfectly overlooking the fort, so he's going to be able to harass me from early on. And in reserve, we have the two Waffen-SS units in their half-tracks and the Puma, and they will be coming on from the German side of the table, which is going to be this side over here. So that's how the scenario is going to shake out. Greg is writing down what direction he's going to come on with his commandos. He can actually come on from any direction. So we're going to go ahead and play turn 1 now, so stay tuned. All right, we're back after turn 1. So as you can see, Greg has brought his commandos onto the table on this side. I misspoke earlier. So in the first wave, he actually only gets to bring people on from this side, and anybody else in his next waves have to come on from these sides, but they have to be in reserve. So these are the men that he committed to this side. And I also misspoke. The German vehicles will actually not be allowed to come on until turn 3 because of this new development in the rules. So we will actually not be seeing German reinforcements until turn 3. All right, so let's go ahead and start with what the commandos did. First of all, he brought on this Bryn team who took shots at the Germans hanging out in the orchard, managed to get a pin, did not manage to kill anyone. His next move was to bring on the British rifle team that also fired at him, at these men, but they were in hard cover at that point from the tank, so they did not receive any pins. The stormtroopers rolled up here and fired into this squad and eliminated most of them. And they had to take a orders test, but they got it together and they passed, so they're pinned, but they are just barely hanging on. This squad actually tried to fire at the Bryn team, but didn't manage to hit anyone. Meanwhile, the sniper took shots at the spotter, but missed. The officer team got out of dodge before the sniper could fire, just so that the sniper wouldn't be able to hit him. This squad advanced out into the street to start to try and combat the Bryn team. We had another regular German squad move out and take shots at the sniper. Didn't manage to kill him, but did manage to put a pin on him. And then finally, Greg brought on Lord Lovett and his officer squad, and they fired at the squad in the orchard, and they managed to kill one of them and put another pin on them. Meanwhile, the Piat team just came up back behind the woods here and is just waiting for an opportunity. So that's the contingent of the British force that came on this turn. We're going to go ahead and play turn 2, and we're going to have British coming on from all table sides. So it ought to be pretty exciting. Stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back after turn 2. Pretty eventful turn 2. We're going to begin over here in this area. One of the first things Greg did was assault with his stormtroopers here, his SMG squad, and they managed to take out the entire squad that was occupying these ruins without a single casualty. But this squad came over from this area right here and fired at them point blank and managed to kill 3 of them. So they're down to 4 men now. And they also took fire from this squad over here. So they're now down to, they're pinned twice and they're down to 4 men. However, this squad took fire from across the field from the Bryn team that opened up during a human snap 2 order that included this officer advancing, putting another pin on this poor squad. And this squad, you'll see that they have 2 pins. They were in the woods here, and they took a direct hit from a mortar. And they decided not to go down because they decided it was really important to get up to that tank. And they have actually ended their turn next to that tank, and they have managed to completely blow it up. So they have 3 points now. They get 3 points for each tank that they blow up. So that tank is out of action. And they're still pinned twice, but they have managed to do a good job. Meanwhile, Greg brought a Bryn team over from this flank, which fired at this squad, which finally prompted them to go down. So they went down that turn and were unable to do anything, but they managed not to get hit. Greg also brought up his machine gun team and deployed them here in these woods. So that's what we're looking at now. The sniper fired at the spotter, but missed again. And the officer team, the German officer team, ran up to help out this squad. So we're about to start turn 3. Keep in mind that German reinforcements are going to start to come on this turn. We got the alarm has gone out. The Waffen SS are on their way. And Greg still has 1 rifle team that he ordered down this turn. So it's a pretty exciting game so far. 1 tank down. And it's going to be interesting to see how this next turn plays out. So stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back after turn 3, very eventful turn 3. As you can see, Lord Lovett and his officer team assaulted the Germans that were here in the woods. Go ahead and remove their pins. He actually was killed in the assault, and the only people left are his bagpiper, Bill Millen, and this other guy. But they did manage to resolve and blow up a second tank. So the British are already at 6 points. The Germans, to my knowledge, have not... Well, actually, they're at 7 points because they eliminated that squad. And actually, they're at 8 points because they eliminated a squad earlier. So the British are doing really good right now. So I was unable to eliminate any units this turn, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the Germans still have some fight in them. We'll go ahead and cover what happened over here before we get to the exciting stuff. This squad advanced up, fired at the stormtroopers, as well as this squad. Managed to peel them down to 2 men and put quite a few pins on them. The officer decided that these men no longer needed his help, so he moved over here to the woods, ostensibly to help the squad that was down over here. But now that they're gone, I don't know what the officer is going to do. Bryn team still laying down fire on the men over here in the trench. Managed to put another pin on them. We got the Piat team moving up now that there's German vehicles on the table. Meanwhile, over here, the sniper took another unsuccessful shot at the spotter. Mortar decided that the new target of interest was the Bryn team over here, but missed, so it'll be a 5 next time. Moving around here, we had the artillery observer place the artillery marker right here, so we will be resolving that shortly. However, the Waffen SS were summoned and they came onto the table. Now, Greg made possibly a fatal mistake. He placed this squad here before any Germans showed up, thinking that he would kind of fire on the men in the orchard from behind.
After the first one showed up.
Sorry?
After the first one.
Oh, that was after the first one showed up. And thinking he would fire on this, if I recall, or was it the men in the orchard? It was this. Okay, so these men actually advanced and fired on this. Prior to that, this moved up, fired its machine gun at these commandos over here in the open, managed to put a pin on them, but did not manage to kill anyone. They hopped their Waffen SS out, who moved into the forest and took shots at the machine gun, also managing to pin but not to kill. Meanwhile, this vehicle rolled up and took shots at the commandos in open, peeled another man off of them, put another pin on them. The Waffen SS jumped out of there and took shots at close range at these commandos, managed to kill 2 of them and pin them. So that's where they're at right now. These Waffen SS are fanatics, so they're pretty close to the commandos right now, so it's looking pretty rough there. However, the German Puma failed its orders test and did not manage to make it onto the table this turn. So we're going to go ahead and play this next turn, turn 4. I'm sorry, we're actually going to resolve the artillery bombardment, see if it comes in. Greg, do you want to go ahead and roll a dice and see if that happens? 1. Oh no. So that means that it was a miscalculation, which means that the German player, me, will be moving the marker D6 plus 6 inches. So we will go ahead and resolve that, and we'll let you know how it goes. So stay tuned. Okay, fear not, viewers. We looked up the rules before we moved the marker, and it's actually 3d6 away, and it's actually in a random direction. So I don't actually get to move the marker myself. So the marker moved 10 inches. As you can see, it moved here. We then rolled a d6 to determine how many inches away from that would be targeted, and the target area is 12 inches. So that means Waffen-SS will be targeted, the half track will be targeted, the officer team will be targeted, as well as these Germans right here, and as well as the spotter for the mortar. So that quite possibly is the worst spot that the artillery could have miscalculated to. So it actually really worked out in Greg's favor. So we're going to go ahead and play that and or carry that out, and we'll let you know how it goes. All right, so we're back after the artillery barrage. We'll start over here on the Hanomag. 1 pin resulted in 1 pin. The Waffen-SS squad took a direct hit and got nailed down to 1 guy, their NCO. But there will not be any fleeing from the field because they're fanatics. So they actually only took 1 pin, so that could have been a lot worse. But it's not looking good now because this British squad, who was under fire, is now looking like they're in a pretty good spot to do some stuff this turn. Officer team took a pin, so he is going to be suffering from that. This squad over here also took a pin, and the spotter took 2 pins. So that shouldn't really affect him unless he decides to move, but I think he's good where he is right now. So it could have been a lot worse for me, but I still lost a squad and took a lot of pins. So basically, I don't think there's a single German squad on the field, except for this one squad over here, who will be doing anything without a pin marker next turn. Oh, I guess this squad's not pinned. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play turn 4, and we'll let you know how it goes, so stay tuned. All right, we're back after a very bloody turn 4. The British were unsuccessful in blowing up the 3rd tank, and we are currently sitting at a tied game, 8-8. So I'm going to start what happened over here. The Waffen-SS, of course, assaulted the machine gun, took it out, moved up to the edge of the wood. They took fire from these commandos here, from these commandos right here, and took a pin and lost a man. And they also lost a man in the assault, so as you can see, they're very depleted. These commandos tried to also help out in the firing on the Waffen-SS on the tree line, but they were unable to pass an orders test and just went down. Piat team moved up around the corner of this tank. This squad advanced into the wood here, took shots on this squad and eliminated their officers, so they are down a permanent -1. Meanwhile, Lord Lovett's team moved around here and contested this area with this officer, but they received fire from this half track, and so they ended up being eliminated. Meanwhile, this guy took shots at this squad, managed to put another pin on them, but that didn't stop him from hopping over the bush. And it looked like they were going to eliminate this half track, but the Puma passed this orders test, came up and gunned them down to 3 men. So that's where we're sitting there. The artillery observer moved out of the house, took shots at the officer over there, and didn't manage to kill him. Meanwhile, over here, this squad jumped into the ruins, took shots into the stormtrooper squad, killed 1. Stormtroopers were unable to return anything in kind, being so pinned. This squad advanced up. They still took shots over here at this squad back when they were hanging out in the ruins. Didn't manage to hit anybody then, but they're primed to take the objective. Mortar team fired at the Bren gun team, missed. Bren gun team moved, so there's no dice there. And the sniper decided to fire at this squad and actually caused another casualty. So it's looking pretty even right now, but it's also looking pretty grim for the Germans. So we're going to go ahead and play this turn, and we'll let you know how it goes, so stay tuned. Hey guys, we just finished up turn 5. This has been a really messy game. It's been a really fun game. I want to say a special thanks to Greg for sticking around, and I know it's kind of late, and I know he has things to do. He's a working man, but anyway, I'm going to get to the video. Okay, so what happened is this vehicle decided to continue to put shots into these men, whittled them down to 2. We had these, this half track plus these men roll up and fire at the men that were here and eventually eliminated them. The Piat team moved up and took a shot at the Hanamag that was sitting here, but did not manage to kill it. This squad decided to move around the tank. They were able to kill the squad that was standing right here, but they took fire from this Hanamag that advanced up, and that managed to get them down to 2 men, and they passed their orders test. This squad fired on the Bren team, took a couple out, so they're looking good. Meanwhile, we have a little duel here between the single Waffen-SS and the RD Observer, down to 1 man each, so they're throwing their helmets at each other. Sniper took another unsuccessful shot at the spotter. The mortar team tried to fire on the Bren team, but failed, and that's where it's sitting right now. So still 2 tanks down. British are angling to try and take out this last tank, and we're going to go and play this last turn, and we'll let you know how it goes, so stay tuned. All right, so we are back after the last turn, turn 6. As you can see here, the Germans and the British both equaled each other out in kills. That's a point each, so it's 6-6. But as you can see, this final last commando was able to run up on the tank and end his turn here despite taking heavy fire from this squad that hopped out of the trench. So that is definitely going to be a British victory. That's an extra 9 points for the British for taking out those tanks. I guess I'll go ahead and start with what happened over here. We had an assault led by the last man in the British Observer Squad with the last men in the Waffen-SS. They hit each other pretty hard several times, but the British guy came out on top, so he won that dice. Meanwhile, this squad opened up fire, the Puma opened up fire on the British squad that was standing here, put another pin on them, but they were finally taken out by an assaulting Waffen-SS squad. We had the Hanamag move up and take shots at the Piat team in the orchard. Didn't manage to kill anyone. The Piat team actually advanced from here to here and managed to take out that Hanamag before the squad was in the way. So the Hanamag was unable to do any damage, which kind of really helped them to take out that tank. The Bren team fired shots into this squad, missed, or well, I'm sorry, actually no, they didn't miss, they took a lot of them out. They were missed by the mortar team, which tried to fire at them, and unsuccessfully so. And the sniper also unsuccessfully fired at the spotter. So, man, really eventful game, really fun game. The British pulled it out in the end. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get more battle reports out for you soon. Be sure to follow us at Texas Bolt Action Facebook group. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to see. We'll do our best. But anyway, yeah, I had a lot of fun, if you can't tell, playing this battle. So anyway, thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care.